Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new edition of the Hockey Happy Hour. We are live from the BMW Atlantic City Studios here in Mount from New Jersey. I am Matt Tsutsuti. This is the penguin-loving Michael Klankoff right over here. And right over here is our special guest of the evening, Mr. Andre Peruso. Yeah, sounds so fucking thrilled to be here today, aren't you?
It's just, I see this, and it's just, you know what? Eagles are Super Bowl champs,
That's okay.
and we're going to stay that way.
That's fine. It's just a state alone. It's just a state of champions, right?
That's a very PC way
We
of
may
looking
own
at it.
most of them, except for one,
Crushing
but
dreams.
we're there.
Well, the only one that you don't have is a basketball team. That's
Well,
pretty much it.
It's the only one we can't have.
All right. And right on over behind the board is not Mr. Broder today. It actually is Mr. Frank Vespi.
Hey,
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, hello, hello.
Glad to
Wow.
be back on the Hockey Happy Hour in forever.
Forever.
It's been like a long time since I guest produced or guest starred in a Hockey Happy Hour. It's been
It's
forever. It's
yeah,
been a while,
it's
yeah.
been a minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's been at least maybe a millennia.
Yeah,
Think about
pretty
that.
much,
I think
yeah.
it's safe to say. Last time I think he produced, I actually didn't have a beard.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
That is
Yeah.
right.
that's
I-
impressive.
I was-
terrifying.
And
I was
probably
all
the last
five,
time.
But anyway.
And probably the last time I produced, the Golden Knights didn't exist, and the Coyotes were just the Phoenix Coyotes.
Yeah, and the Phoenix Coyotes are still a piece of shit.
Yeah,
but
they st-
anyway.
They still suck.
Yeah, they still suck to this day. All right, so Hockey Happy Hour, once again coming to you live from A2DRadio.com, brought to you by Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434, or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com.
Yeah, it is.
All right. So today on the show, we will be going down our top 10 left wingers as we did our centers this past week. And unfortunately, Mr. Daly is not going to be joining the festivities.
Yeah.
And I don't think he sent a list.
No, I did not get one. So
Nor did I. So
sorry, we got 3 analysts here. So
And a producer.
quarter.
2 1/4.
I'll participate in the fun as well.
Fine, then go right ahead.
Woohoo!
Mr.
I just
Vespi.
got to figure out my list.
Joe Thornton in every category, right?
Fuck Joe Thornton.
What? You're not a fan of the San Jose Sharks?
I can't stand the Sharks. I cannot stand that team one bit.
What? Is it because Evander Kane's on it? Because he's a piece of shit.
I don't even know. There's just something about the team I don't like, especially like whenever they're good, they always seem to disappoint. I don't know. There's just something about that team I do not like. So,
Oh, that sounds horrifically familiar. Anyway,
yeah.
so speaking of that, before we dive in though to our top left wingers, we do have, of course, the Twitter poll question of who is the top left winger currently in the NHL. I did leave one spot for other
Yes.
because this space could very easily be chosen by anyone.
Which it will be.
Yes.
Mhm.
So Alexander Ovechkin is obviously one. Meanwhile, Meanwhile, the other choices are Jamie Benn, simply because the man just, he's a freaking machine, so on and so forth. So feel free to throw in whatever choice you may have if you have a different choice other than ours here on the Hockey Happy Hour. But other than that, though, other news, though, to get to before we dive into this. So the Flyers made a little bit of a move in the front office. They also made a little bit of move in the young prospect department, as they have officially re-signed Robert Hogg to a 2-year deal, which is good because Hogg proved a lot during this past season. Unfortunately, he didn't stay on the team for too long. However, though, he continued to get himself back onto the team, stop being a scratch, kept himself going, and he actually had a pretty decent year. So I'm happy to see him moving forward. Hopefully he can continue to stay more permanent on the team. Meanwhile, in the front office, the Flyers decided to make a change to their vice presidency, and thank God, because that piece of shit Paul Holmgren is no longer a part of the Flyers organization. Oh, that's a good fucking feeling.
They might be good.
Damn it.
Yeah, I know. That just pisses Mikey off. Mikey used to just wrap himself up in his blanket and used to just lay his head down on
Knowing
the
I could
pillow.
go to sleep happy and Flyers suck.
Yeah, no, it's just like, yes, Paul Holmgren's still a part of that organization, so they're still going to suck.
Yep.
Yes, I know it.
Damn it.
But now that era is officially over, and yeah.
Good.
So watch out. You never know
Yep.
when that year's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like this year.
RG3 touchdown pass, by the way.
Wow.
Oh, yes. Apparently, RG3 is making his comeback, quote unquote.
Man.
In a
It's a week of
Flacco looks
comebacks.
scared. Flacco looks scared. No.
It's been a week of comebacks.
You mean
And tomorrow, Johnny Manziel's going to be starting over the Les Alouettes de Montreal tomorrow at the over in the Canadian Football League. So I'll be watching that as well. See if he has a really successful comeback. So, Johnny Football's
Nah.
back.
Johnny Football's not back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he winds up winning a Grey Cup, he'll make Flutie proud. That's for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
But anyway,
Flutie and Martin Moon.
and whomever the hell we could throw out there of the obscure football names. But back to hockey. So, with that being said, besides those front office changes, that's pretty much all that's been happening for the Flyers.
Oh, for the Flyers,
currently.
okay.
Yes.
I was going to say, because something broke about an hour and a half before the show happened.
If you want to, feel free to
And,
share.
getting right into it, Jeff Skinner has been traded to the Buffalo Sabres.
Yeah, that actually is a really good move for the Buffalo Sabres. And Carolina did put them out on the trade block, so Carolina's pretty much saying, you know what, fuck it, we're not going to do it
I mean,
anymore.
I
We're
was-
not going to try.
I mean, they got Pooh in return, so
Pooh. Yeah, my man Pooh. I've never heard of the guy, so I mean,
from what I was looking at, he was like a prospect.
Prospect,
or something.
okay.
Yeah.
does he eat honey and lives
it's
around
Pooh,
the same-
P-U, right?
P.U., yeah.
Yeah, P-U.
Here come all the jokes coming in
Yeah, I
about
was
this
gonna
guy. I
say,
feel
like,
bad.
Is his friend Tigger? I
His
don't
friend
know.
Tigger.
Yeah.
His name's spelled P.U. His last name is Pooh. What a shitty last
Oh,
name.
man.
First
That's
name
good.
Winnie. Anyway. All right. So, besides that point, it does show what Carolina's pretty much doing. Carolina just hitting the reset button,
Yeah.
saying, you know what, fuck it, we're done. We're not going to put any effort into this season, so don't even bother to watch.
I mean,
just
yeah,
saying.
pretty much.
Not that, Carolina really has a fan base. Let's just be honest here. It is Carolina. I mean, what fans of Carolina do you know?
My cousin's won.
How?
And
Okay.
Vinny's won.
How is your friend Vin, our friend Vin, how is our friend Vin a fan of the Carolina Hurricanes?
Because he likes their logo.
It's a hurricane.
It is. Yeah.
He's got the jersey.
That's a terrible reason to like a team.
Yeah, he makes some bad choices.
Yes. Actually, you've told me a lot about his bad choices, but we are a family show here. But anyway.
Yeah, I mean, Buffalo's just getting stronger in this offseason. I mean, they already acquired Sheary. Now they're acquiring Jeff Skinner. So, I mean, they're getting younger, getting faster.
Buffalo's trying
They're
to.
not getting younger because they're young already, but they're getting actual talent.
Well, what they're trying to do is they're trying, to get out of the basement because they've been stuck in the basement for the better part of 3 years. Even though they got Jack Eichel, who's a superstar, they have nobody to put around him, and the veteran sure as fuck ain't doing anything. So it's like, what are you guys doing? Like, how they took that one bid, on Matt Molson, and that didn't fucking work out for
Matt
him
Molson.
at all. Matt Molson
Wow.
was good only on the Islanders, and then he went to
Yes.
Buffalo, and he fucking stunk after that.
Yeah, I wanted him when he was on the Islanders.
I
But
did
it's
too.
It's funny though because we actually drafted him.
Really?
Yes.
You drafted Matt Molson?
We drafted Matt Molson.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's yeah.
So now you're
pretty
kind of
good.
wishing, like, damn, maybe we should have
Yeah.
kept him.
Got a lot of comments coming in. Our boy
Sure.
Roscoe, of course, saying hello.
Uh,
He goes
Hello,
into some
Roscoe.
wrestling talk, so I'm not even going to get into it.
It's probably about Trish Stratus or Mandy Rose.
CM Punk.
Oh.
Jesus, this is bad.
Hey,
Okay.
cool, yeah.
But yeah, Stephanie Hoover, thank you, by the way. Stephanie shared into 15 groups.
Wow.
Whew,
We'll
hey,
take
Steph.
it.
Thank you.
And then
Yeah.
Roscoe goes back into some Lesnar talk. Again, not getting into it. Again,
Lazy
Roscoe,
booking next
Roscoe's
Thursday.
loving us tonight. He said Coyotes oh my God, Coyotes do not suck, by the way. They doing great on the NHL 17 season mode.
Oh yeah, because a video game, really. Ooh.
Yeah. Walter Tooley says no to, I don't know.
No.
No.
Does it have exclamation points at the end of it?
There's
It
one.
has one.
There's
There's
one.
one.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You got to have at least 6 or 7 more after that one.
Tom Arnone comes up with, what's up, fam?
What is up?
What's up,
What up,
Tom?
bro? Brendan Dalen. I hope I said that right. He said Buffalo going to be a solid team this year, and he said Eichel is trash in my opinion. Maybe Darlene and will be able to bring out Eichel's skill. I don't think Eichel's trash. I think that's going a little too far. I think Jack Eichel's good.
No, he just hasn't had a team around
Look,
him.
exactly.
You know?
I mean, every year that he's played for Buffalo, they've been a bottom 2 team in the East. So
I mean, that's not fair because it's the same thing. What people were saying the same thing about Taylor Hall. They said he was a bust
Well, yeah,
for
look at him
several
now.
years, but it's like, yeah, and now he's on the Devils.
I
And
completely forgot he was a number 1 overall pick,
Yeah.
Taylor Hall.
He was the number 1 overall pick. Edmonton thought he was going to turn the whole
Yeah.
franchise around.
Well-
Then they realized, well, wait a minute, Taylor Hall's a great player, but he's not Wayne Gretzky. And then they realized,
no.
oh yeah, that's right. That only happens once in a fucking generation.
Yep.
So, and that they did get that guy though, and Connor
Yeah,
McDavid.
Connor
So
McDavid.
it
Yeah.
doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
we'll get there.
I just see Frank staring awkwardly over here. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I'm just seeing
It-
movement.
I
I'm,
see-
I'm trying to. I'm trying to
like,
look for a pen.
Frank's
over here.
literally looking at him as like, hey
Here.
man,
Hey yo.
Frank.
No.
Frank has literally looked at Andre.
Gracias.
Just
Yeah.
like, hey man, you know my dude who sells weed. Like totally gonna get you a good deal right now.
Maybe.
That is literally what
We
that
will
look
not
was.
disclose that on HED Radio
No.
or any of its properties, or else this show will get canned, and there will be a very unhappy Tom Arnone and a very unhappy Matson Sudi.
Oh, it's all right. It's gonna be legal in about 5 minutes anyway. So, all right. Anyway, so we got a couple comments coming in here on the YouTube as well. David Roscoe, of course. Now, this isn't about wrestling. This is just hashtag Let's Go Ducks and quack, 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 quack. Well, since Daly's not here, somebody's got to flap
Somebody's
the duck
gotta
wings.
quack.
Somebody's got to flap the duck wings.
Quack.
And for Tristan Fowler, he's saying thoughts on the Red Wings and Philip Zadina. And, well, basically real simple thoughts on the Red Wings. Rebuild. That's pretty much what mode they're in right now. They have Dylan Larkin, so they can put something around him. But for now, and they have some young players in the core. The goal is for them just to, you're going to suck for a little while, but you know what? The more you start to mature your younger players and the much more mature Larkin is, he can welcome in the younger, fresher talent. You're going to get higher draft picks. It may not take you that long to rebuild since you're doing a basic, reset button rebuild right now. So,
Brendan comes back with, just a statement real quick. He goes, in my opinion, I feel like Eichel is just playing for the money, not for the love of hockey. He has the entire Sabres organization around his finger, and he's asking us, do you guys think he's worth what they're paying? I don't know the dimensions of his contract.
well, we can look that up.
Yeah, I was going to say, we definitely look that up, and we'll break that down for you.
Yeah, we'll definitely get you on that one. Now, here's the thing, though. Even if he is playing for the money, and truthfully, that's the only reason why you would play for a team like Buffalo
Yeah.
without, demanding that you go
Michael Grabner going to Arizona. I mean, come on. He could have went to the way he's played the last 2 seasons. He could have definitely gone to a better team. This is a pure money move.
Well, yeah. I mean, Michael Grabner, this is what Phoenix does. They pay out the ass for everyone, and they don't do shit. I mean, what was it? Arizona? The last time they were in the playoffs, well, they did go to the Western Conference Finals. But that's really irrelevant because, quite frankly, they wound up getting stopped anyway by Los Angeles. You got to have a team that's going to lose to the team, and
Okay,
that's
so,
pretty much what it was.
Jack Eichel's contract is an 8-year, $80 million contract.
I mean, it's a big gamble that they're putting out there for him, but that's the thing, though. We really don't know what Eichel
Is capable of when he
Yeah.
actually has pieces around him.
Yeah, that's the thing. If he had pieces around him now, and he wasn't performing at the top of his game, then I would say, yeah, then he's definitely playing for the money and he doesn't give a shit. But he doesn't really have a team around him. You know, you got to put a team around a guy. One guy can't turn a team around. I mean, he is not Wayne Gretzky. He's not Mario Lemieux.
Yeah.
And even Lemieux and Gretzky needed guys.
Oh,
you
you
know?
always do.
So
Jordan needed guys, too.
Jordan
So.
needed guys too, yes. So he didn't win every one of those NBA championships by
No,
himself. He
I
just
was
won
gonna
one
say,
of them.
he did
by
win all of
himself.
them, though.
Yeah, let's be honest.
But, going back to what Brendan's saying, I guess maybe, that, what is it, $10 million a year is, it is overpaying.
It is overpaying
for his
though.
production.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of money, and I'm not gonna lie, it definitely is.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, though. It depends on what you're looking for. What kind of return on investment are you getting here? Buffalo is looking for someone to pretty much stabilize their organization, that they can put something around and be a beacon for Buffalo.
Yeah.
And they haven't had that kind of a player really ever in their history. They've had great players, but they had to put them together to make a solid team. I mean, because even in their bright spot in the early 2000s, they had to have like 4 or 5 guys to really make that team run, plus Ryan Miller in net when he was, in his prime. So it took a lot for that team to be good. They're really trying to make Jack Eichel the guy out there to see if he could be their Sidney Crosby basically out there. So, all right, that's pretty much the rundown for Buffalo.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I know.
Interesting.
Yeah, most definitely. They're going to be a team to watch for this year. It's just, again, the East has its prominent teams, and right now they're not one of them.
No. And you know what? Honestly, because I hate the Buffalo Sabres, I hope they stay that way.
It's the only
for
shitty
almost
team
forever.
that could always beat you guys.
Well, not.
No, but it's true, though. It's like anytime you're like, damn, this is an easy win. This is Buffalo. And then
They
Buffalo
always
beats them.
sneak it out,
But then you'll play Tampa the next day and
we'll
rock
crush-
Tampa.
Yeah, we'll crush Tampa. No, you see what it is my true hatred for him actually goes back to the early 2000s when Ryan Miller was in goal and they had Maxim Afinogenov and they had Thomas Vanek and they had just a really great team and they beat us twice. Now I was like, fuck you, Buffalo. Fuck you and your stupid, pathetic piece of shit city. But anyway.
Hey, they have some good restaurants.
They
That's
got
like
some good
what?
wings, though.
That's like finding the little
Golden
speck of
turd.
Well, yeah, it's like finding the little nugget in the
It
midst of
snows
all
like 6
that.
feet in a day there.
Oh, come on. That's why they're so
Have you
good.
seen that? But one thing I will say, have you seen their tailgates?
Yes.
Oh my
Bills
God!
Mafia.
Like, oh my God, them fucking Bills fans.
Yeah.
Woo!
You got to give it to them.
Wow.
Bills Mafia might be one of the craziest fan bases.
Here's
for
the
sure.
weird part. I would say that they're on drugs, but no, I honestly don't
No,
believe
that's
that.
It's all the pollution.
all the smog that they just breathe in all day. That's what it is. Must be what
Could be.
must be what Mexico City's like. But anyway.
Damn.
All right. So, with that being said, any other current news and topics that have been rolling around in the NHL recently? I can't really think of too many. I know that there's currently a World Junior Prospect Showcase going on out in Kamloops. And that is a place, in case anyone's wondering.
Cantaloupes?
Yeah, up in Canada. And, what? Hey, I'm the one who thought Schenectady wasn't actually real there.
You
for
are
a
making
second.
up words.
That's a real place, too. Look it up.
Schenectady, New York.
Yeah, it's a place in New York, oddly enough. But
Near
anyway.
Albany.
Yeah.
So,
real quick, though, Brendan's coming back again.
Sure.
He said, I think Buffalo should have kept O'Reilly, made him the front man. On the other hand, I love St. Louis and glad he went there. It is a great move. I mean, I felt like they gave up a lot of assets for O'Reilly, but, I mean, what they give up, Berglund, Savoca, a couple other picks and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, to me, I feel like that trade definitely benefited both teams, and they're both getting solid players. I mean, obviously O'Reilly's the best one out of those guys, but overall, I mean, he's going to fit so well in St. Louis. We'll see if they could actually move forward this year. You know, they have such a prominent start, then the playoffs come around and it's just like, boom.
Yeah,
You know?
that's true. That is kind of like the habitual problem of Buffalo.
Yeah.
But that was what the problem was with Jersey for a long time. Only difference is Jersey wasn't really young. Jersey was just old, and
Yeah.
they couldn't get that shit to work right.
Nah,
But-
nothing was working for him.
Yeah, and that's why What's His Nuts is now in charge of the San Jose Sharks and not the New Jersey Devils anymore behind the bench. But anyway, so we got the Pove himself, Mr. Rob Povia, chiming in saying that Ovi is still probably the best left winger, but young puck movers are moving up the left wing pecking order. And that is true, man. The left wing is actually, when looking through it, it's really hard to pick anybody in the top because you're like, shit, a lot of these young guys in that left wing position are killing it right now. At least by today's standards. Oh boy.
No, we got a James Wilder sighting, so
Hey,
I
what's
got
up, James?
excited. No, couple.
Winnipeg Wilder.
Yeah, we got a couple more comments. Christopher Eastright, bring the kid up the Flyers. Kid up for the Flyers. It's time. I'm assuming Hart.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That would probably be the assumption.
Brendan comes back and says Saboka is a playoff powerhouse, so I hope Buffalo can make the playoffs this year and let him shine.
He can be. With St. Louis, he certainly was.
Yeah. Wilder says hockey isn't a sport where one guy can carry a team. Eichel isn't living up to the hype or contract, but he's in a black hole called Buffalo as well, so shrugs tough to say. I think of him similar to Taylor Hall in Edmonton. By the time Buffalo is any good, they'll trade Eichel and he'll be better.
No, yeah,
better.
I could see that happening. If he winds up going to, another team and he winds up just putting up unbelievable stats, then it's just like, yep, pretty much the exact same thing that happened with him and Taylor Hall.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Gets sucked into the black hole, and it doesn't seem like you can get out. But that's also, too, again, no team around him. We don't really know what he's like when he's got actual pieces around him to work with.
Yeah, exactly. Like you
So-
said, Buffalo hasn't been relevant since Ryan Miller's been there.
Pretty much.
So.
Yeah, that was the last relevant move they made was drafting Eichel.
Yeah.
What have they done since? Diddly squat.
Nothing.
They've pretty much just been shit under everybody's skates up to this point. Seriously.
Exactly.
You could see the brown trails a mile away when you leave Buffalo. But anyway. So. Wow. So with that being said, David Rosca chiming in again. Brouwer was bought out in Calgary, which he was. That actually doesn't. That
Who's that, Troy Brouwer?
Troy Brouwer. I don't know if that surprises me that much. Only because it depends on what really the pay was. Because Troy Brouwer's a good player, but he's not like mover,
No,
shaker.
he's
He's just
just-
kind of a guy that you
Yeah.
need, but he's not somebody that you need to overpay for at the end
No,
of the day. So,
not at all.
all right then. So, anything else you got on the Facebook?
Nope. Just Povio.
Povio.
Same. Bring Hart
Super
up.
Povio brothers.
All right, the Pove himself chiming in. All right then. So that's what we got currently going on in the NHL. And now we can move on to our top left wingers.
Yes, we can.
All right.
So we can do our number 10 through 6 to start things off for everyone out there. Of course, Eddie Van Haskell chiming in with Bobby Hull for, I guess, assuming on the top 10 left wings.
Mhm.
It's a safe pick, I would say, out there. So you're doing the current
Yes.
top ones. You doing the same thing, Andre?
Yeah, because my very limited knowledge. Just going to put that out there. Yeah, well, I'll stick with that.
All right, then.
I'll try and assist.
Either that or you can just take, jabs up the side and say, like, oh, that guy was a piece of shit.
Well, I mean,
I'll
Joe
take it.
Thornton.
Joe Thornton.
my
Number
my
one.
POS player of all time.
this is going to go well.
Frank is going to make that a hashtag. Fuck Joe Thornton.
Oh, yeah.
And
Joe
it's going to be
Thornton
trending
sucks.
worldwide. Joe Thornton's going to be wondering, who the fuck is this Vespi prick who just keeps on doing this fuck
is
you,
this-
Joe Thornton?
This guy made this hashtag from
Yeah.
New Jersey. Like,
It's
where
like-
the hell is
Yeah.
this guy? Who
Yeah,
is
like,
this
Why
guy?
does he hate me so much?
He lives in fucking Jersey. Like, well, seriously.
What did I
What-
ever do to him?
Doesn't-
what did he do?
I mean, besides living in Jersey, how could his life be this bad?
How
you
does he
know?
hate the Sharks so much? Why? Why do you hate me?
Well, David Roscoe was chiming in actually before we jump in. He says Troy Brower should stay to be with Neil. That's not a bad idea. I think Calgary though they're so heavily like trying to stay young that I think that they're willing to go the route of we're not vets. We're gonna kind of see where they're at, and then if we don't want them, we don't want them. Because I think Calgary's just trying to make something gel real quick. I'm not saying it's a smart move. I'm not saying it's a bad move. We'll see what happens in the season when it moves into place. Because Calgary does need to do something because them not making the playoffs.
Yeah, but they got a lot of players this year.
They did.
They're going to be a different team this year, without a doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. So, with that being said, I think it's time for the festivities to begin. Why don't we start off with, just because... Why don't we start off with the special guest?
No,
man, put him on the
I
spot.
want to skip that because I am not prepared.
That's why I had to get you involved somehow. I mean, I feel
Listen,
terrible.
if it makes you
you
feel better, I could go first.
Yeah, well,
Come on, you gonna come in here and be Superman right now?
No, I'm not. I'm just making everybody feel comfortable. Okay.
You don't have to do that.
All right, then I just won't even read off my list.
Okay, then just out. Okay, all right. So, all right. Okay, so finally, if you guys want to, you could do a rock, paper, scissors, or whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah,
here
you
to
win.
Decide.
I won.
All right, go, Mike.
All right, so my number 10, I'm going to start it off with a Calgary Flame player in James Neal, guy that was ranked 30th out of points for left wingers last year, which was crazy to me. After I saw the stats, I was like, damn it, he only had 25 goals, 19 assists last year when fucking Knights were a top 5 scoring team in the league. So, I mean, I think he's going to have a lot bigger role. He's going to have a little bit more pieces around him. It's kind of weird saying it, but Calgary's they're on the move. They're trying to get something done this year. So that's why I got James Neal 10th. And a couple of years ago, we probably could have said he was a top 5 winger. 40 goals in a couple consecutive years. He was on fire. But this season, it's like I said, it's weird to say he's coming off of a Stanley Cup run, but the points and everything. I think he could only get better from where he was last year. So that's why I got him at number 10.
Yeah, I got you. That makes sense. That makes sense to put him down there. I mean, that's going to be real interesting to see what happens after having that unbelievable year out in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And, Frank, did you do an all-time list?
I am doing an all-time list. I am finishing up right now.
All right. So while you're finishing up, I'll start my all-time. My all-time, I'm going to kick it off with none other than Keith Tkachuk.
Ooh.
And Keith
I would butcher all these names. Like, I'm reading the list. I only got excited. I thought I saw Bobby Hill. Yeah.
God damn it, Bobby.
That boy ain't right. I sell propane and propane accessories.
I got excited for the wrong reason.
Whoa!
At least you got excited.
My boy
Could've
ain't
been
going
worse.
to play hockey. He wants to play football. Never been to a Stars game, but my goodness, that Mike Badano guy, he looks kind of cute. That ain't right.
Oh, all right.
I love some Texas hockey.
They're the ones spitting dip at you and stuff while they're playing. And
God, if that's actually how Dallas games would be, I would absolutely love to. I would look forward to the Flyers playing the Stars every year, but that shit don't happen. It'd be like, come on.
only twice a year.
Yeah, I'm willing to see somebody spit some tobacco out there. Come on. This is Texas, God damn it. They don't allow you smoke indoors anymore. Come on.
Sigs inside.
All right, so
Oh,
Keith Tkachuk. Keith Tkachuk is one of just 7 left wingers to score over 500 goals and is often considered to be one of the best American-born players of all time. And he's also part of an exclusive club of only 4 other players in NHL history who have scored over 1,000 career points and 2,000 career penalty minutes.
Nice.
So Tkachuk didn't give a shit at all. Like, he was just like, all right, I can score on you, but I can also beat your ass, too, at the same time. His totals for his career was 538 goals, 1,065 points, 2,219 penalty minutes in 1,201 games.
that's a little bit.
It's all right. I mean,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, what the fuck? I mean, what's he ever done? You
Yeah.
know, who the hell's this Kachuk guy? I don't know.
What's a Kachuk?
Yeah. Oh,
Did you say a Canuck or Kachuk? No.
no. The Canucks are that team that can't fucking win a Stanley Cup to save their sorry asses out on the Pacific.
Being
Out
up
on the West
3-2.
Yeah, out on the fuck that.
Blowing up the city.
Yeah, and fuck that. They were at home for Game 7 too,
Yeah.
and had a lead.
Mhm.
Christ, you still fucked it up anyway. Frank, you good? Andre, you want to go?
I'm almost done.
I'm terrible at this.
Andre's gonna wait till the last minute. So, Mr. Vespi, you go ahead with your all-timer.
Okay, all right. Number 10. I'm gonna go with Paul Correa.
Paul Correa.
Paul Correa.
Mm.
All right.
Brian would love that.
Oh yeah.
Yes, he would.
Nice little nod for our Ducks friend
Ducks
Brian Daly.
Nation.
Ducks Nation's own Brian Daly.
The Duck Man
And
himself.
for our West Coast viewers out there,
We
Just
got
for you.
you.
We
We
got
got you
you.
covered.
we got you covered.
Don't worry. We got you covered.
Don't worry, just because Brian's here doesn't mean we are equally fair to everyone here.
Exactly. This is what we do.
That's why
We're
he's
here for everybody. Yeah, this is why I got a spot.
Yeah,
Not
like
everyone.
seriously. You have to be an equal opportunity
Yes.
employer.
Yes.
If you're not, then you get
I was
sued.
going to sue, and then, then we opened up to
Unfortunately,
everybody.
yeah, we had no choice then. I was like, ah, shit.
Sorry, we got to bring him in. Damn it.
Damn it. All right, fuck it. So, with that being said, all right, my man,
All right.
Mr.
I finished my
Andre
list.
Peruso, the floor
Killing
is now
All you got to do is
yours.
name somebody.
I know. I don't want to butcher every name and
It's
someone hate
okay.
me.
Just think of it phonetically.
Listen,
and
they're
we'll
hard.
correct you.
They're
I'm
hard.
around chemicals all day, so my brain's a bit.
You weren't huffing paint, were you?
You know, I do what it makes me happy.
I do it.
Oh, glue. Okay,
No,
got you.
it's just straight chemicals.
Oh.
Forget that.
Oh.
Let's skip the whole ingredients. Let's just go to the main thing.
Oh, all right then. All right. Gotcha. So, who do you
Ah.
got?
Now I'm gonna butcher this. Philippe Forsberg, actually.
And you did not. Anyway,
Really?
yeah, you did not
Yeah.
butcher that at all. So, Philip Forsberg, who I thought was related to Peter Forsberg, turns out no.
Yeah,
That was
I always
what I
thought that
typed
too.
in,
I was
actually.
kind of disappointed when I found that out.
Damn you, Swedes, and your similar sounding last names.
I love the Swedes.
Everybody loves Sweden. You
And
get
Swedish fish.
meatballs, furniture, pop groups. I mean, you got it all in
Sweet.
Sweden.
Swedish women.
Yeah, cars,
They're
I
not
was gonna say,
that
there's
great.
really nothing. to
heavy
hate about
metal, Vikings.
Well, Vikings are great.
Yeah,
So is heavy metal.
yeah.
Brian George says Claude Giroux. We did him with centers last week. We made him a center.
Because he's
'Cause,
pretty
I
much
mean, he
been
does
a
play
center.
both, yeah.
he's been mostly a center.
I'll give you that.
And hate it.
Although I am wearing his jersey, so there we go. We'll go
Maybe
with
that's
that
why he
one.
was excited.
Yeah, I mean this
Saw
is.
the ketchup.
Oh,
bottle.
you mean
No,
the
kidding. No,
Keystone?
that's the-
yeah,
no,
that.
that's ketchup. You're right.
it's
This
the
was
Pennsylvania sign.
Don't you
it's the
start.
Keystone.
What?
Didn't you guys wear? Didn't you guys have these on your jerseys last time too?
I don't know. Be honest, I don't know.
Really? You didn't pay attention at all to that game?
You should know this.
Oh, I just remember we won.
I don't think they were.
I don't think we did.
No.
It doesn't. No,
The
it
Flyers
doesn't-
had the Keystones on them.
Yeah.
Oh, we did. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like I thought Pittsburgh was closer, but
That,
anyway,
that'd
it
be
doesn't
really
matter.
cool if Pittsburgh did a Keystone motif. I'd be
Oh.
interested to
We'll
see.
see
that.
what happens this year because
Yeah.
they play again this year, but at the link.
That'll be fun.
That is going to be so much fun. I got to see how much tickets will be.
Yeah,
Probably
I'm sure it'll be a solid over $100 each.
Probably even for the cheap seats.
Yep, but it might be worth going.
It
to.
was probably cheaper. It'll probably be cheaper to go see Metallica. But anyway, so with that being
They're
said,
still touring.
Yeah, oh,
yes,
yeah.
they
yeah.
are.
Wow, they need to
I went.
stop.
I went and saw them actually when they came to town. Really,
Did they have the
recently.
walkers?
No, not yet. They're gonna have them this tour. They said that they had to get whole new ones made. That
Oh, so they
were-
had their
yeah.
canes.
Aiden
You know, the
Hurst.
ones
Yeah,
with
they
the
just
little
had the
horn?
regular
Okay.
canes and a few of the IV bags with them,
Yeah,
especially for
Yeah.
especially for Lars. You know. Yeah.
Lars is pushing it, man.
Yeah, he's also a dick. But anyway, so on to our number 9s and Mr. Klankoff.
All
It
right.
is your turn.
Number 9, I got the new boy. Well, not so much new boy, but welcome back boy. I'm going JVR at 9.
Ooh.
Solid season last year with Toronto, but he was ranked 23rd in points as for left wingers last year. 31 goals, 18 assists. I think his assist numbers will definitely go up. Other than that, I don't know. I think he's definitely going to have a better year. I think he's a top 10 left winger. So that's all I got to say. You guys obviously know more than I do. So
Sure.
if you want to add anything else to it,
No.
be my guest.
No, I think I'm good. I think you covered everything right there, so we'll leave it at that.
I think he's going to do good, though, this year. I mean, he's back.
I think he
home.
will.
Hopefully he doesn't.
Yeah, it's
Go
somewhere
crazy.
somewhere familiar. You know, he's played with half of the guys already. So
He won't have to adjust
Yeah.
to everything.
That would be the truth. I mean, he was there, Giroux was there at the same time. Team's different, mentality's different, which is what I think
Yeah.
drove him out of Philly in the first place because
It was a dark place.
it was a dark time. That was a real dark time. Paul Holmgren was the GM.
oh, damn it!
Good
Yeah.
time.
Why'd you go? No.
You're just gonna be just distraught over this for the
Yeah.
next few weeks, aren't you?
There's no doubt.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Nah, it's okay.
All
I'm just
right.
ready for the damn season to start. Like,
Oh God,
You
I
know?
know. I wanted to start so bad.
I've never been so excited for preseason football.
Oh, yeah, watch
You know.
RG3 break another knee or something.
It's
Yeah,
just
Brian
something other than
Urlacher has
baseball. I
hair.
needed something other than baseball to watch on TV.
Oh, look, there it is. His knee's going.
Nope. Oh. I hope not. I really want RG3 to do good.
He's not.
Even though he's on the Ravens, I thought you hated the
I
Ravens.
do hate the Ravens. But he was also on Cleveland, too. So
Oh, yeah, because I think they're winning the Super Bowl this year.
The
you
Cleveland
might want to put
Browns?
money on it.
I will not.
You
'Cause
might
my fiance does not give me money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Spent my allowance.
All right, Maddie, what do you got?
All right, so my next person of interest on my list, my number 9 is Mr. Frank Mihaljevic.
I thought you were going to say Frank Vespi.
I know.
I was going to say Frank Vespi, actually.
We
But-
need an all Frank Vespi poll. It'll be great.
Well,
One day.
One
yeah,
day.
yeah,
One of
one
these
day.
days.
One day we'll have it. We'll have it. One day the Vespies will return to a2dradio.com. One day. Until that time. Yes, but Frank Mihaljevic, who spent pretty much most of, not all his career on the Montreal Canadiens and had a very strong run with them from the time he won the Calder Trophy as a rookie. And his rookie year was 1957 to 58, so shows you how long ago he played. And he was an all-star 15 times in 16 seasons.
Nice.
And he won 6 cups with Toronto and Montreal during that span.
It's always the damn Canadian teams.
And and he
Goddamn
led the
Canadians.
playoffs in scoring in 1970 and 71 with 14 goals, 27 points in 20 games. And during his 18-year career, he had 533 goals, 1,103 points in 1,181 games.
Pretty solid career.
To say the least. I think that's safe
Yeah.
to say that was a pretty solid career on that one.
So who's going to break the Canadian curse then?
Well, you see, that's the
America.
thing. America.
The Maple Leafs probably have a good chance to break it.
They do, but the question is, will they break it this year? Probably not. They have a shot, but we'll see what happens
Yeah.
during the season.
I think the best ready team might still be Winnipeg.
Yeah, they probably are. I think the thing is, though, is that as long as Winnipeg doesn't fizzle out like they did in that Western Conference Finals, because for whatever reason, man, they were just done. Stick a fork in them. It's over.
Yep.
They had nothing against the Golden Knights.
No, it's quite surprising to me, honestly.
Vegas wanted it more, though.
Yeah.
I mean, they were playing great, but Vegas, first year, they were just killing it. Everyone was cheering for them.
I really wanted to see it, especially when it was against the Capitals.
Yo, I love their opening
I did not want it to
ceremony.
happen.
And a lot of people didn't.
Yeah,
A
because
lot
I
of
felt like it would be like a Gary Bettman wet dream come true with
Yeah.
a desert team winning a Stanley Cup.
But then it's
I want to hate on the Knights, but I can't at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like because I have family out there. They're huge Knights fans. They've been a part of the team since it was declared that they were going to expand
Yeah.
out there. And then,
that's awesome.
I mean, I have connections with the city of Vegas, so it's like I can't hate them, but I can't love
Like,
them.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
a love-hate thing with me
I
and the
got you.
Knights.
I got you.
With this. The prostitutes there, you got a connection? Or
Just with another sports team in
Sure you
the
do.
Las Vegas area.
Get my dreams. Oh. I gotta say, David Roskin needs to go do something else.
What is
I'm
it
just
about
getting tired of
CM
seeing it.
Punk again?
No, it's not. He was saying Scory Perry is a top 10 left winger.
Get the fuck out of here.
Maybe we're around the clock like 4 years ago, but Rosca.
He's not even in the top like 25.
Maybe
Damn,
top
dude, that's
100.
harsh. Whew.
There's guys that scored higher that aren't even in my top 10, just because of position that they play in and other guys.
Well, Perry's just as
He sucked.
he's gotten older and he just
Awful.
has fallen off. Really, that's what's been killing Perry.
He was absolutely awful last season.
Yeah. He also chimed in and said Paul Correa, as any Ducks fan would know. That's a requirement to know that.
Oh,
name.
yeah.
That's like if you're a Flyers fan and you don't know who the fuck Bobby Clark is, slap you across your freaking face. Just like anyone who doesn't know who Mario Lemieux is, and they're a Penguins fan.
Yes.
And Crosby does not count because
Crosby's a bitch.
anybody can say Crosby.
Thank you.
Anybody.
Bitch.
Haven't heard that one before.
I'm a sore loser, okay?
I'm waiting to see the day that Mikey just completely loses his shit.
Over Crosby.
Over Crosby or over the fact that the Penguins lost to a team he just can't fucking stand. Like, I know you can't stand the Capitals, but you knew at some point it was going to happen.
Well, it
I'm
shouldn't.
really waiting for that one team to come by that you know you could smoke and you still lose to them. It would piss you off to no end.
This season, obviously, I thought maybe we could have done it in 7. Realistically, I was telling you're like, oh no, it's just another Penguins Capitals series. You know what's happened. It's history. I'm like, I don't know. This team's different this year, and it's just. It's a shame it happened, but like I said, going into that series, I wasn't too thrilled about it. It was just one of those series that I was like, I don't think we're gonna do it anyway. So
Gotcha. Well, let me ask you a question.
yes,
What team, if you were in the playoffs and you just happen to draw these motherfuckers, what team would you face that you just absolutely do not want to fucking lose to? Yeah, but
you know why?
Why?
Because there's too many of you guys around me. Okay.
Yeah.
Working for the station when the Steelers got smoked by the Eagles, what was
That
it,
was
week 3?
beautiful.
That was the worst time of my life working here. Okay. When I working here, it was like Tom gave me how long the drive from fucking Philly to Pittsburgh was. I mean, I got everything. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
Jesus
You had,
Christ.
you had like every insult and the kitchen sink.
Oh,
along with that.
man, that was a horrible week of my life. Damn, D'Angelo Williams was my starting running back. Like, nah, I'm kidding. He did good. He's a good guy, by the way. Got a selfie with him.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. Oh, so that's another question we should ask Brian. Just say, like, okay, what team would you draw that you absolutely cannot fucking lose to when you draw?
I feel like the Sharks.
I don't know if it's
It's the Sharks or the Kings. No,
I
he hates
agree.
Vegas,
He
too.
hates
Yeah.
Vegas. Vegas has become the Devils of the West.
Yeah.
Officially, I think it's safe to say, because no one likes the fucking Devils.
Devils West.
Well, we'll see.
No
We'll
one
see what
does.
happens with their sophomore year here. So
We will see. We'll see if the
Yeah.
sophomore slump also pertains to actual teams and
Yeah.
not just
No,
rookies.
it doesn't. Don't jinx it.
Why?
Think of
I
all the
don't.
money in Vegas that's going to go to them again. Think of how much Vegas would have lost if Vegas won. It would have been great. They had no chance. Vegas, people were going to be millionaires because of them.
yeah.
They
People
were.
shitting their pants.
They were is the key word.
the lines
Were.
were nuts on them.
Yeah, and then after that, they just fucked it up.
Yep.
They had nothing to counter Mr. Ovechkin and his Washington Capitals,
Well, the
who did not
retirement home
deserve
is
the
coming.
Conn Smythe.
not at all. I'm sorry. It still pisses me
Ovechkin
off.
did not deserve
Congratulations
that
to the
fucking Conn
Ovechkin
Uh-uh.
on having
No.
on about to have his first child with the cup.
Ah, yes.
Nice.
What's he gonna be called? Cuppy?
I don't
Cuppy.
cup
That's the best you
Cup-
can do, Cuppy.
Cupkinov. I don't know.
Kabukchak?
Oven
I don't
chicken.
know.
Alexov, Stanley, Alexov.
Stanley.
Stanley Alexov? Okay.
I don't know.
I
I'm
like
just
it.
tring to go with like Russian
All right,
naming
well,
convention.
keep
I
up-
don't know what the
yeah.
hell I'm going with this.
All right, that's your
can,
homework
can I
assignment.
can I give you my number 9?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Dave Andrechuk.
Dave Andrewchuk? Oh, God, I hated him.
You can stay away.
But that should pretty much tell you everything you need to know. So, oh, fucking asshole devil. Anyway, so
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at the guy who's supposed to go now.
Oh, okay. I guess I shouldn't be so rude. Okay, let me butcher this name. Thomas. I'm just gonna say Tater Tot.
Tater Tot.
Thomas Tatar.
Tomas.
Thomas Tatar.
It's
I'm
Tomas.
trying. Jeez.
It's all good.
Reading about him, it's pretty interesting. He was absolutely terrible the first 3 seasons. 1 goal, 9 games, and then he's on track for almost 4 years straight 20-goal seasons.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty nice. I mean, I don't know much, but
Yeah, and he's with
That's it.
Vegas now.
yes,
if I'm
just
not
got
mistaken.
traded.
Yes.
He was right
for
at the
1.
deadline. Yep. So yeah, I mean, definitely he's going to be better positioned this year to have a better season, obviously. But he's not my top 10. But
Why you hating on my top?
I'm
10?
not. I'm just saying.
I don't know. I'm getting a bit of a snarky vibe.
I'm just
right
saying. I don't
there.
think he's
Yeah.
top 10
Is
worthy.
it because our Super Bowl ring?
Oh
Better
my
than
God. I mean,
I mean,
Diseases?
for
Yeah, that's how many Roethlisberger
I
has.
was.
I thought that was how
2?
many.
he has
Well,
2.
well, hold on. I thought that
Uh,
was how many women he raped.
Oh.
One.
Bat.
Good night, everybody.
1 and 1 bike accident. No.
Oh boy, this really got dark on
All
the
right.
happy hour. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next
I'm
week.
supporting a man today. Damn it.
Well,
Yeah.
you do realize this was gonna happen the
Of
moment you
course.
put
Yeah.
that fucking jersey on. Come on now.
Of course.
I mean, it could be worse. It's not like
It's
the
the first
Steelers-
jersey I
Hey,
saw in my
Hey, come
closet,
on.
man.
It's not like the Steelers lost to the Eagles or anything.
That would have been
In the
worse.
Super
Yeah.
That
Bowl,
would have
I
been
mean, yeah.
worse.
Oh God, and that could actually
oh my
happen.
God.
Yeah.
If the Steelers had lost to the Eagles, would you even be here right now? Would
Probably
you just,
not. Honestly,
Oh my
I would
God.
still be in a hole somewhere because
yeah.
no,
You would never hear the end of
no,
that
absolutely
for the rest
not.
of your
That's
days.
why, like now it's kind of like it's not okay, but it is okay. Like if it were to happen now, because I've
Yeah.
always said I don't ever want to give the Eagles their first Super Bowl. And I know if we were to play you guys in a Super Bowl, we would have given you the first Super Bowl. So
No,
there's-
we had to crush the best.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you did.
Goat slaughter.
Yeah.
There you go.
It was beautiful.
By the way, David Roscoe chimed in and said,
Ah,
"Cannot-
jeez, tell him to go away.
We're
We're not changing any schedules. Stop it. Just shut up and watch. Okay?
He's so mad because he got called CM Punk.
No, I've
but
accepted
anyway,
He makes millions. I'd love to make millions.
yeah,
One day.
But not get knocked out like a bitch.
yeah. So David Roscoe says Canucks having a great start on the NHL 17 with Luke Erickson. Yes, I understand. NHL 17 is a little skewed though. That's the thing. Got to remember it's a video game. Reality is completely different, Roscoe.
Yeah, I'm more than 5'5" in my video games.
Yeah, I usually make my guy like 6'7". You
I like
know?
making mine big and fat.
But make him have like 99 speed overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? It's a video
Breaking
game.
all
Shut
the
up.
records.
That's exactly what I do. Especially for basketball, I always made my guy like a 6'10" point guard.
Yeah.
Call me Kevin Durant, you know.
You know what? Has anyone ever wanted to like make that character in NHL and just look up Gretzky stats? And just be like, okay, let me see
Let
here.
me just add all that.
Let me see if I can make a 99 overall and break one of these records. Let me see if I can attempt
I'm
this
sure you
right
could.
now.
I mean, I was
Yeah.
scoring like 9-10 goals a game in one of the NHLs. So
I
Oh,
did that on easy mode. I felt bad, so I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? Let me make it harder.
yeah, you can't.
Why would you feel bad?
by the
Because it
way,
gets boring.
Because it
after
gets
a while.
boring. Because then you're just winning
Yeah.
and winning, and then it's like,
Damn, I haven't
Like
lost
the
a game
Eagles are
since
gonna do.
3 seasons.
yeah, yeah. All my teams have been 82-0-0, and
is this because I put everybody in a 99 overall?
Yeah.
am I a 99 overall?
Why is Zach Ronaldo able to score 20 goals?
right.
Like that shouldn't even be.
Yeah.
He shouldn't even be sniffing one, let alone an NHL rink.
The Coyotes won a Stanley Cup.
shouldn't
What?
even- He shouldn't even be the janitor in the fucking bathroom.
Yep.
Anyway, so
That's
next
a tough
up.
job.
Well, it is a dirty job. Someone's got to do it.
Yeah.
Dirty job.
Zach Ronaldo's the perfect guy for it.
Yes, I agree.
He's used to chasing off, little black, things that look like shit. So now he actually gets to clean up actual shit. So there you go.
I like it.
Next up, David Rosca again saying,
Go away.
he says start lazy booking next week on Friday.
We are doing it next week.
No one wants to talk after him.
La-
They're just
la-
like, I'm
lazy
done.
booking will be on next week, Rosca.
And we will ban you.
Almost the entire gang is going to be back except for Chrome, from what I know
it's
so
gonna
far.
be me and Mataraki.
And Mr. Brodo, I believe, is back
Yes,
week
he'll
as
be
well.
back in
So
the producer chair.
he'll be
or
back
the
in the
hot seat,
producer
whichever
or the
one.
hot seat because I'll actually be staying over at this fine house we call Tom Arnone's house for Thursday.
Be house sitting?
I am dog sitting. Yes.
Oh, well, it is a beautiful house. So
I know. It's
congratulations.
a nice house.
Anyway.
Don't clog the toilet.
I won't.
Not too bad.
Top shelf it.
Not too bad.
I'll make sure not to feed any of the dog's chicken bones.
No, rim.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Rim. Got to do this
Oh.
right, man. That's
My
if
bad.
You want it. That takes skill. If you can get that around the rim, man,
Yeah.
that takes skill.
Matt,
I would give you credit.
You have a dark past, don't you?
Yes, I do.
That's why we're friends.
Yes.
Woo.
All right. Boy, if Brian was here, he'd just be like, I am not a part of this conversation right
yeah,
now. He'd
yeah.
just be over in the corner doing this right
and
now.
if Brodo were to do hockey happy hour, he'd just be sitting here like with like bug-eyed stares, like
He'd be like this, like he did the one time.
He'd just be looking up at his
yeah, he'll be like taking a phone out and like
Start recording us.
and then like talking stuff about like what am I doing here? I should be golfing right now.
We should be golfing.
Should be
but yet-
golfing right
no, it's
now.
10:30 at
Yeah,
night,
it's
right?
10:30.
10:30. I should be
Top
golfing.
golf.
Time to golf.
I bet
No
you.
way, Brodo.
Okay, I gotta. If Brodo is watching this by any chance, he's probably not because he's out there in North Carolina, so he's probably having a good
Vacation
time.
number 5.
Yeah, but I got to wonder
for
this,
him.
Brodo. I gotta ask, do you ever do those late night golf sessions where it's just like, you know what? It's fucking midnight. It's time for fucking golf. Let's do
You
this
won't know where you
shit.
drove the ball.
No, that's called what's his name?
What?
Golfing
What?
that time of night.
I'm so lost.
He's trying to get a hole in one at night. You ain't.
Oh.
Now I got it.
Mm.
Hey,
Oh.
one step at a time. It'll
Easy,
be
young
really figured
Padawan.
out. Thanks, Yoda. All right.
Oh, man.
Where's this going?
I don't know, but we got number 8 coming
Yes,
up. So.
let's go to number 8.
Number
All
8.
right, Paul.
Number 8 is where I slotted in Victor Arvidsson.
Victor Arvidsson. All right,
Yes.
interesting choice.
He is very interesting. He had 29 goals last year, 32 assists, ranked 14th in points last year for left wingers. He's just one of those guys that's got a continue a spark plug. Knowing him from the Stanley Cup playoffs or Stanley Cup a couple seasons ago, the guy's just absolutely phenomenal, and he showed it again last season. And they're coming off that President's Trophy, and I think they could be just as good again next year, and I think he'll be even better. So.
All right, then. So, yeah, good choice on the Arvidsson. I would agree with you on that one. Now, moving forward for my number 9. My number 9 is...
Your number 9?
8.
8.
8, yeah.
8.
I don't know why I'm losing track.
That's because of me. I'm throwing things off.
No.
With my extensive knowledge.
Yes, that we'll go with that
No,
one.
it's just our typical sidetrack that we usually do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It gets.
The world famous sidetrack.
Yep.
Only on ATD Radio.
That's the but that's the point. What good is a show if you don't get sidetracked?
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck about rundowns? Seriously.
Nick
What's a
Reed says,
rundown?
"Fly Eagles fly."
Woo!
Yes.
Well, you knew that was coming at some point.
That's okay. We need it.
We.
Doc.
What's this we? All right.
We.
Paul Correa is my number 8. So now Brian can go 6 to midnight. Paul Correa being one of the most electrifying players of his gen, which he was.
Yep.
And unfortunately, he did suffer due to injuries, which kind of
Thanks, Devils.
alienated him. Yeah,
You
thank
assholes.
you. Piece of shit, Scott Stevens. Anyway, he posted 7 30-goal seasons, topped 100 points twice in his 15-year career. He was a 7-time All-Star, won an Olympic gold medal with Canada in 2002, and led the Ducks to the 2002 and 03 Stanley Cup Finals, which unfortunately, that is where he suffered that devastating hit from the piece of shit we aforementioned, Scott Stevens, which later on that evening, he actually returned to the game and scored the game-winning goal in order to push it to a Game 7.
Nice.
And in 989 career games, Correa scored 402 goals and 989 points. So he basically averaged a point
Point a game.
per game for his entire career.
Nice.
Paul Korea is the best of the Koreas. Better than South and North Korea.
Oh.
Uncomfortable puns for the win. Woo!
I forgot to mention that that's what Frank does.
Yeah,
So.
I will make an unnecessary pun. And you'll do that.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Vespi, what do you got?
My number 8, Toe Blake.
Oh,
That's a
okay.
name.
That's an interesting choice.
Yes.
All right, then.
A great left winger, but also a great coach as well.
That is true. He was a very good coach for his time.
Toe. Is it spelt T-O-E?
It is.
Nice. That's what I'm
Part of
talking
the
about.
famous punchline of the Canadiens in their early runs. Yeah. I like it. I like his stat lines and all that.
Okay.
So I got to give it a toe.
All right,
All
guys,
right,
I got
then.
a question real quick.
Sure.
Timothy Stowe says, who is going to be the team to look out for this season?
The team to look out for this year, I will say,
Winnipeg.
that's not a bad choice on nomination
I would say
list.
Flyers, but that didn't seem right.
There's two teams on my mind that got better, both in each conference. So, definitely Toronto.
Toronto.
Toronto would definitely be a force. I think they'll get past that first round this year, finally. And Calgary. I think Calgary is finally a team that you're going to have to kind of watch out for. Their situation is more of defensive problems and goaltending, but they're definitely going to be a lot better this year. I love that they got James Neal. You know, that's. I mean, I know what he's about. I know what he could do. I know what he's capable of. And he's probably going to have about 30 to 35 goals this season. So,
All right.
mark it down.
I'm going to say it probably will be Toronto for me. They're the team that, out of all of them who have been making the playoffs recently, they're the guys that are like, this could turn out to be the team to beat for the entire season.
Yeah. When I was on vacation, this is when I was in Nashville. There was a guy wearing a Maple Leaf shirt, and I was like, how do you feel about Johnny T coming to the team? And they were like, we almost cried. We almost cried when he came to Toronto. So
Yeah.
they're ready.
They
Those
are.
fans are ready to like, damn, we finally
It's gonna
got
be
some
ex-
pieces.
It's going to be exciting for the
Not
Maple
that they
Leafs.
didn't have him before Johnny T, but
And,
it's
and,
gonna
I,
be
and
even
I'm
better
really
now.
glad for John Tavares to actually going a team that actually
is it
wants to make a run.
Yeah.
Or a team that actually has their shit together.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which the Islanders have not had ever.
No.
I think since they won their 4th cup, and then that was the end of that.
Pretty much. I mean, yeah, incompetent GMs basically screwed over John Tavares' career in New York.
Incompetent GMs,
An incompetent coach,
incompetent coaching, incompetent front office, incompetent teams.
incompetent arenas.
Pretty
Yes.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Let's move to Barkley where the Nets are doing so good.
by the way,
At the time.
well, what are they doing nowadays? They last place in the division
No.
No, they're
Actually,
hosting
they're not.
Jay-Z concerts.
Yeah, that's pretty much
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
and SummerSlam. Don't
The
forget that.
Summerfest.
God damn.
I love the Summerfest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that
All right.
sucked. It's
I
a
think
shame.
we stalled long enough, Andre.
Damn.
Yeah.
What?
Stalled. Okay.
What? I was trying to make more time for you.
Nah, I was actually prepared this time.
Oh, okay. Well, then next
Yeah.
time, tell me to shut the fuck up.
I will never say that.
All right.
No, I will. I'm gonna have to go with Mike Hoffman actually.
Mike Hoffman.
Last 4 years he's actually goals. He stays in the 20s. He's getting more and more assists. His game points getting better and better, but he seemed to drop down. But he's still
He got traded
yes.
to where?
If I can learn to read again, traded to Florida
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that's a better situation
for
than
a
where he was
7th
at with
round
Ottawa.
pick.
So,
Well, anything's
But-
better than Ottawa right
yeah,
now.
the only to me he's just a dick. His problem, his wife, with the whole Erickson situation, it runs off to him. It makes him a dick.
Oh, now I remember.
He's a
this.
good
Okay.
player, hence why I don't have him in my top 10 purely because of that, because I think he could be a top 10 winger. But he's a dick.
Yeah,
He
but,
drove himself out of there.
yeah, but the thing is, though, is like, there's a lot of people who were dicks.
Yeah,
And you know what? They were good players.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
he is a good player.
it is what it is.
He's always been a 88 overall kind of guy in NHL, so always liked
We're
Hell.
back to this.
We're back to
I'm
NHL
just saying.
17.
I'm
David
just saying.
Roska's proud right now.
Sorry, damn it.
All right, so let's see. I think we are on to number 7, is it?
Yes.
It is number 7, and it's 9:30 p.m.
All right. right.
Okay.
Do you want to take a quick break and then we get to number 7?
Don't tell us what to do.
No.
I'm just asking.
But we'll hold off and we'll do 7 and 6, and then we'll go to break.
All right, sounds good.
All right,
2
so-
hours.
All right.
Mr. Klankov,
Yes.
what is your number 7?
Let me take out my list here.
Yeah, come on. Look, I'm wearing off on him.
All right. I got the hometown boy from
better-
Salem, New Jersey.
It's better than rubbing off. But anyway.
Johnny Gaudreau.
Johnny
Where's
Gaudreau,
Wow.
Gloucester Catholic Zone.
Yes, Johnny Gaudreau.
My
is,
cousin's going to be playing hockey for GC.
Yeah,
I think next year. I think.
nice. That's awesome.
So he's excited.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to explain this guy overall. He's the mini man on the ice, but he's a hell of a good player. 24 goals last year, 60 assists. He ranked 4th among left wingers last season in points. I have him a little bit lower, but like I said, I'm all about the Flames this year. They're going to be a lot better team, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Johnny Good is the way to go.
Johnny, be good.
Yeah.
Go, Johnny, go.
All right, so.
Do you want me to do 6 too?
Yeah, go right ahead.
All right,
Go
6.
into
This is
6.
where I have Philip Forsberg climbing up from the 10th spot. Last year, I have him at 6, 26 goals, 38 assists last season. Overall, he's just one of those guys that, I don't know. I think he's going to have a great season. I think he's going to do a little bit better than he did last year and, just keep climbing up there. He has that potential.
All right, then. Nice. So, before we rattle off this, David Roska chimed
Oh,
back in
boy.
on YouTube, and he says, I'm going to apologies, or I think he meant apologize, to Andrea
Okay, what's close enough? Fine.
to make fun of.
Are you drunk?
I think he was trying to say make fun of.
That's not hard to do. Look
He,
at
al-
me.
he also goes on to say Paul is the greatest duck of all time. I'm not going to argue that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll leave that for Brian. And he also says Hoffman is a legendary botch. I don't know if he's a botch in a player-wise. As a person, yes. He's a complete fucking botch. He's a fucking terrible human being. That's a different
What
story.
is going on? The comments, the sidetracking. It's.
Get used to it. I'm telling you now.
This happens all the time.
I know
Frank.
it happens all the time, but my goodness.
All right, so
Wow.
now on to mine. All right, so my next one, my number 7 is, unfortunately, this is where I put that piece of shit Dave Andrechuk.
You piece of shit.
Yeah, he was, because he played for the fucking New Jersey Devils. However, though, he didn't win a Stanley Cup until he wound up with, of all people, the Tampa Bay fucking Lightning, and won a Stanley Cup
The
out
Solon
there.
Ginless Cup.
Poor Genla.
Poor Ginla.
By the way, yeah, did we mention that he retired? No.
Yeah, we did last week.
Did we last week? Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
you're
we
right.
did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because remember, we
Yep,
brought up
yep,
of
yep,
how
yep, yep.
awesome he was for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah, he was great. Like,
Yeah,
but
trash can.
I think I was drunk when that happened.
Mhm.
Anyway, so next up, my number 6 is Ted Lindsay. He's got a trophy named
Terrible
after him
Ted.
for a reason. He also won several Stanley Cups with the Detroit Red Wings. Was one of the major factors during that era when they had, of course, Mr. Hockey on that team. So absolutely have to put Ted Lindsay in there. So that is my number 7 and 6. Frank?
All right, my 7, I got John Buchik. And number
Okay.
6, Luke Robitaille.
Oh.
Lucky Luke.
Lucky Luke.
All right, then. Andre.
I don't even want to try and pronounce these names.
Okay, well, if you screw it up, I'll fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna screw.
All right, you want me to read them
Yeah,
off?
let's go with that.
Let's
Okay,
see.
so your number 7 is up here. That's
Yeah.
Artemi Panarin.
Ah.
Yeah, I like Mike, Jim, Bob, Steve, Todd.
Yeah, this is the wrong
Smith.
sport for that. This is not the sport
Right,
for
it's not
that.
the white trash sport. God, just give me that.
That's football. But anyway. All right,
And
number
6,
6
Max.
is Max
Pacioretty.
Pacioretty. Yes.
Who the fuck makes up these goddamn spellings?
Canadians.
Canadians
Well,
and
Panarin
Europeans.
is European.
Europeans, Canadians,
And Americans.
Canadian Europeans.
I mean, let's be honest. Americans have weird names, too.
Like Ladasha,
Sinsudi.
Clank off.
Vespi.
Peruso.
Whatever, I don't care anymore. I just hate Dave Roska.
This is the first time ever I've heard anyone hate him. Wow, we're making
Wow.
history today. I love it.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
making
being made.
We're
history.
always here to make history.
As we used to
Only on
say,
ATD Radio.
as we used to say on the Fix, it's a record-breaking show. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I think it
Yeah.
is time we take ourselves a quick little break.
Yes, it is.
I gotta piss.
Good idea. You can do that in the studio, by the way.
Right here?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Sure.
Tom will totally not come down and shank you. But anyway, so with that being said, when we come back, we will pick up where we left off, number 5 through 1, and finish off our top 10 left wingers of all time or of modern day. This is the Hockey Happy Hour brought to you by Gibson Mayer LLC, your certified public accounts located at 301 Oxford Valley Road in Yardley, PA. You can give them a call at 215-369-3300. Tax season, you know what it's like. You don't want to deal with it. The gift that keeps on giving, you need to be prepared for these things. So be ready, be prepared, and call Gibson Mayer. This is the Hockey Happy Hour on a2dradio.com. Do not go anywhere on YouTube. We will be right back. And if you did join us on Facebook, there will be a link in the comments for you to continue the experience on YouTube. So, for all those who will not join, we will see you next time. And for
Pittsburgh
all those
sucks.
who will join us on YouTube, we will see you right after this.
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hockey Happy Hour. I am Matt Zudi. This is the Penguin Lover himself. Hi. Michael Blankoff. And right over here is special guest Andre Peruso. I guess I am. And behind the board, Mr. Frank
Milf lover.
Vespi. Come on, Frank. We all know it's okay.
Hey, yo.
Well, we're off to a good
I thought there was
start.
something else coming to that.
No.
Nope,
Just
Hey,
hey, yo.
yo.
Hey, yo.
hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
How you doing? Anyway,
Terrified.
that is the immediate response.
Yes.
All right. Or you can use one of those really bad pickup lines. God, those are fun to do.
Oh, I got some good ones.
I got a good one.
Oh, God.
You want to hear my best one?
No.
Hey.
We might as well.
Hey, what's up?
All right. Hey. Let's fuck.
That's actually a good one.
How many times has that worked? Is it a 100% rating?
It results in a lot of slapping and some very angry Twitter statuses.
Okay.
So,
And a chafed hand, obviously.
yeah. Yeah.
Good one. All right, so this is the Hockey Happy Hour on A2DRadio.com, and we are brought to you by Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located at 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-939-2030. Email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net.
Get your shit together.
Or
Matt.
visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com.
Woo!
That's cool. I just want all my stuff to fall off the table.
That's the whole point.
You are inconsiderate.
You're damn right I am. That is exactly what my job is, to be an inconsiderate prick.
Okay, FYE.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
That's a great, great place to be rude to. That is really
Like
a great place.
Hashtag
Like
shots
just-
fired.
Absolutely, completely
Question
rude,
mark?
harsh, unkind, not fair. Just like being the biggest douche you could possibly be.
Like Joe Thornton.
Exactly.
All comes back to Joe.
There we
Thornton.
go.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Wait till a bunch of questions are going to pop up in the chat saying, "Why does Frank hate Joe Thornton so much?"
Because he
Why is-
does.
Because why not?
Is that your new stepdaddy? Is that it?
Could be.
I have my reasons, but
They have to be dark to be on this show.
they're not too dark.
Well, then skip it. Matt, let's go.
All right, then. So, on to, we were doing our top 10 left wingers.
Who's keeping track?
Yeah, well, no one really.
I
And
bet you Dave Roscoe is.
We love you, Rosca.
We don't.
Don't ruin our one fan, damn it.
Right.
all right. So, with that being said, we have our top 10 left wingers. We were left off at number 5.
Yes.
So, I think that's right.
Yeah.
So, why don't we jump into number 5? Clinky, please feel free to
Number
put in that
5,
one.
one of our men on the Twitter poll, Jamie Benn, at number 5. Last season, great year. Not good enough, though, but 36 goals, 43 assists last season. He ranked 6th among left wingers. Dallas is just one of those teams where it's just like they could go either way. And last year, it was the wrong way. It's a shame because he's such a great player, as well as Tyler Seguin, and they're just being useless in this league,
Well, the thing about it is that, Dallas, they have that one little spike
Yep.
where everything was going good, and then their goaltending just absolutely
Yep.
fell apart.
It's a shame.
And then ever since then, they've had their problems. Now they
Yeah.
got Ben Bishop, so things should be better now.
Well, I hope with the 6'7" goaltender.
Yeah.
Should be able,
Hopefully.
should be able to cover everything.
We'll see. We'll see. I can't guarantee it.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, on to my number 5. My number 5 is Brendan Shanahan, who had a very highlighted career. He was on the piece of shit Devils team,
Mm-hmm.
but that was before they got good, so he wasn't a complete piece of shit. However, though, he did join the New York Rangers, so, that's when he became a complete piece of shit.
He's only like 65% then.
Yeah, about that. However, though, when it comes to him being in charge of player safety, I'm like,
It always is so confusing.
yeah, it's just like,
Absolutely.
the shit that he does is fucking hilarious. Like, between the bullshit of goaltender interference and between the bullshit of what is an illegal hit to the head, what's a boarding penalty, what the fuck is intent,
Yep.
taking 3 or 4 strides and then hitting someone on your skate does not constitute charging. I'm like, then what the fuck does, Brendan? Like taking your fucking stick and smacking the dude with it out there on the
He's
fucking
not
ice?
consistent, to say the least.
Yes, it's like, God, put all that aside though. His playing career was
He's good.
very good.
Yeah.
His front office work for the NHL needs a little tweaking.
Can't
All
even
right.
read.
What?
He can't read.
Well, we all know Brendan Shanahan struggles with literacy. But anyway, moving on to Mr. Frank Vespi.
Brendan Shanahan.
Oh, all
Number
right then.
5.
So we were on the same wavelength. All right. So,
Woo!
on to you, Mr. Peruso.
Santa Claus.
He was
He's
good.
he's
left
good. I mean, he's
Yeah.
got the
That
with all the
fat-ass
reindeer and,
belly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, all the elves. He's
Love
got a
Santa
lot of
Claus.
help.
I'm surprised that team hasn't won a cup yet, but
It is-
I
it
mean,
is
fuck
crazy.
Are we talking
They,
about?
they are busy all year. I mean,
They
they got to
are.
prep things for that one special day where they have to
Absolutely.
take off,
for
you
the
know.
Eagles Super Bowl parade.
Sure, we'll go with that one. Anyway,
I was gonna say Taylor Hall.
well, all right, that's perfectly understandable putting Taylor Hall in there. A kid who many people, again, thought he was a bust. Turns out, no, he's not a bust, actually. Turns out he's actually a very talented player. He just needed to be put in the right setting, really, at the end of the day. So,
It's usually what it comes down to, and he's done a hell of a job. Well, he did a hell of a job this season with the Devils, so.
Devils suck though.
well, the Devils are just pieces of shit, but that's a different story.
Goddamn armpit of America.
Well, no. It's the middle finger. Because
No,
that's the state
we're
of New
we're the
Jersey.
mole.
No, it's the middle
Or that-
finger.
that
It's the
growth.
middle finger. No, because here's the thing, though. Jersey constantly likes to say this to you on a daily basis. So it's like, it has to be the middle finger. I mean, Florida's the dick of the United
I'm
States.
sorry, I'm
so we know
excited.
that
Lamar
much.
Jackson's on the field right now.
Ooh.
So right.
Finally.
Yes.
I've been, you know what, though? Just going, since you got sidetracked, it's my turn to go sidetracked. When the Steelers had the pick and Lamar Jackson was available, I wanted him to get drafted so badly.
Was that or a good lawyer?
Good lawyer. But, I don't know. I hope the best for him, even though he's a Raven. But, yeah.
Okay. So with that being said,
Number 4.
number 4.
Hey. Oh,
this-
wait. I already got mine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
we
was
have the
gonna
same
say.
one, Frank. God damn it.
Oh,
Who's keeping
jeez.
fucking track anymore?
I don't know.
Christ. All right.
All right, my number 4 is
We
Artemi
need
Panarin.
Brian here.
Where's Brian when you need him?
Artemi Panarin.
Yeah, this is where I stuck in Panarin. 27 goals, 55 assists last year, ranked 5th among left wingers. You know, just playing in Columbus, I think overall it's just a solid team to be around, you know, and just I think he could repeat what he did, maybe even do better. So, yeah,
Do you
That's
believe
it.
in Santa Claus?
I do.
What about you? Just had to ask. It's bothering me now.
I don't know. I do. I strongly
Is it
am
because you're a
debating.
ginger?
Well,
Do
I
you
mean-
believe in Krampus?
that's a different story. He's like a close cousin of mine, but you know that's a different story.
Okay.
How do you think I got all these souls that I have sitting right here on my arm? He gives them to me.
I was about to say something horrible, but I'm not. Let's leave that. Next.
All
person.
right.
All right, Maddie,
so
what do you got?
my next one on the list, it's going to be Mr. Alexander Ovechkin, who is going in at number 4.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
We had Crosby on the top 10 centers of all time.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I
last
mean,
week.
and it's honest. I mean, if I'm calling it like I see it, Ovechkin is a. You look at his stats, man, they don't lie. Yes, you can say that he is a selfish, greedy player. And yes, I will agree
You
with
have
you.
to
He
be.
is.
Mhm.
But at the same time, though, he basically has been the major focal point of the Washington Capitals. When you think the Washington Capitals, who do you think of? You think of Alexander Ovechkin.
Yeah.
I'm sure you don't think of Dale Hunter.
That's
That's
why,
for
yeah.
fucking sure. So, it has to be him. He has to be up here at the top, at least of the modern
Definitely,
era.
he has to. There's absolutely no doubt that he's already in the record books as a top 10 player of all time anyway. So I mean, there's no, like I said, there's no other words to say. There's no doubt he's got to be greatest of all time in history. So.
Because I think he passed the milestone of 500th goal,
Something like that.
something
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Fastest to do it since Gretzky.
Yeah, so
So,
it's pretty crazy.
Potentially, we may actually see a record that we never thought would be broken by him.
If that does
he stays
happen,
consistent.
wow, like that would be crazy if Ovechkin actually breaks
He
that.
needs
Holy shit.
For the next, I think it's 10 seasons, he has to score at least 32 goals. So
That's tough.
he had 49 this year. So
I mean, he hasn't been missing a beat for
Yeah.
too much, but that's tough, man. That's a
It is,
tall
well,
order for
especially
32.
if he could get over that average, he could obviously cut down those seasons a little bit. So 10 seasons would put him at 43 years old.
I mean,
So
if he's able to do that, holy shit. But I don't know. I'm going to say, not biasm aside or anything like that, I'm going to say maybe he'll make 3. I'm going to say he'll take 3.
yeah.
Yeah, he'll only be behind 2. That's my personal opinion on the all-time scorers. So, anyway, that is my number 4. Mr. Vespi.
Frank Mihaljevic.
Okay, gotcha. So, like I had earlier. And on to you, Mr. Peruso.
I'm gonna go Jamie Benn.
Jamie Benn, all right.
He had a decent amount of goals last
Yeah.
season.
No, like I said, I mean, he's a solid player. It's a shitty team, so it's kind of hard to put him. It's not so much that they're shitty. It's just hard to put him on a mediocre team. It's hard to put him higher on the list just because it's solely the team.
But that's the thing, though. If you're judging it strictly by the position, not the team,
Yeah.
you could say, all right, yes, he
Yeah.
belongs here. It's
He's-
just that he's on
yeah.
that team, and you forget that he's there.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
So.
Exactly.
All right, then.
Oh,
Mr. Klinkoff.
yes, off to number 3. Here we
Number
go, rounding
3.
it off. Taylor Hall. This is where I put him at number 3. He actually led all left wingers in points last season. He had 39 goals, 54 assists. He fit right in with New Jersey and having, a 24 5-point game streak last year. He absolutely phenomenal. He's red hot on the power play. Just everything about him in New Jersey is just a whole new scenery for him. It's a whole new setup. The guy's, like I said, he's fit in so well with them. But I still see 2 guys that are better than him. But, yeah, that's why I have him at number 3. Where are the Devils going to be this year? They're another team that is just so optimistic. It's like, where are they going to be? Are they going to be this playoff run team again? Or are they going to slope down? But because there's so many teams, it's East is strong. So,
It is, man. That's the tough part.
and they were that wild card. If,
And
you
the Metropolitan Division is going to be the
It's
single
tough.
worst fucking division
Yep.
to be in this year, as it will probably be for the future seasons. Even though the Rangers did take a small step back, they still have a pretty good team.
Yeah, but I mean they did it for the future. So
Yeah, they did.
we got teams like obviously the Penguins will eventually start to fall off because of the main guys getting older.
Hopefully.
Ovechkin and the Capitals will slowly start to fall off.
Yes.
Well,
once those 2 teams fall, I think obviously the the guys who will be bearing those division banners after that are either going to be the Blue Jackets, the Flyers, or the Devils.
Yeah,
It's going to be one of those 3
I think it
teams.
would be the Blue Jackets, to be honest.
The Blue Jackets do have
They're scary.
Yeah, they have a very scary
They're
team.
scary.
That's another team to look out for. I
Yeah.
know we were saying earlier about teams to look out for, and we were saying Toronto. That's a team we should also
Columbus.
keep your eye on.
Yeah,
is
Columbus is a team we don't talk a lot about. So.
Yeah, but oddly enough, usually you don't talk about them because every year they were irrelevant, but out of nowhere since they moved to the East
Yeah.
and they changed the front office, they have John Tortorella as their coach who has fit in there well.
Well, yeah, definitely.
And Brandon Dubinsky, Seth Jones.
Yep.
that team has been freaking phenomenal since
Exactly.
that
Ever since they
transition.
got rid of the cancer, Rick Nash,
Yes.
they've been doing good.
And Rick Nash, of course, has since been trying to find a permanent home or
Yeah.
permanent solution
Well,
to his goaltending problems.
he might be
or goal scoring
retired
problems.
because he still has not signed anywhere.
That's
So-
true. I mean, here's the thing, though, about Rick Nash. Rick Nash is a perfect example of a guy, when he was the franchise of an organization, he was the face of the Blue Jackets.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
They never really put a team around him.
No, they didn't.
They had 1 year where they made the playoffs, and
Yep.
they got swept by the Detroit Red Wings because they honestly were just overmatched. And that was with Jake Voracek on the team.
Yeah.
And ever since
Yeah,
then,
Voracek, yep.
yeah, that's where we got him
I
from.
forgot that. Yeah, I
yeah,
always forget that
yeah,
he
we
played for them.
That's how we traded for him. We traded Jeff Carter to the Blue Jackets, but he didn't do well out there.
Yeah.
He needed his butt buddy Mike Richards. They sent him out to Flyers West in Los Angeles, and they won 2 cups. But anyway, yeah. So with that all being said, I would say that's pretty much what the problem's going to be from now on.
Yeah.
You know, we'll see what Columbus does.
I'm with
It's
you.
going to be creepy. All right.
Absolutely.
So
Your turn, number 3.
number 3 for me. Number 3, I am going to put. Who did I actually put at number 3? Because I actually lost my list. So
God damn.
yeah, my computer shut off on me. It happens. Yeah, that's life.
That's life.
Well, Frank, since you have the same list, why don't you go
Pretty much.
and
Yeah.
do
All
number
right.
3?
My number 3, I am going to go with the father of his future son, who impregnated a Stanley Cup after their most recent win, Alexander Ovechkin.
Okay. So you got him a little bit higher than where Maddie has him.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, for all the right reasons. Like I said, I hate the guy, but you know, there's not much more to really say about him. He's just he's the face of a franchise, face of a whole league. So
All
So-
right. So my number 3 that I'm putting in there is a player that most people don't really know, and that's Michel Goulet. And the reason why he's in there is,
One of the best Nordiques of all time.
yes, he scored 40-plus goals in 7 consecutive seasons for the Nordiques, and 4 of those were 50-goal seasons.
Mm.
And on top of that, too, he had 4 100-point seasons in his career. And he
average.
and he was a 5-time All-Star. And he finished his career with 548 goals, 1,152 points, 1,089 games played, and he had a 0.50 goals per game average, which ranked 20th all-time in the history of the league. So the reason why is just the man was impeccable stats, but the only reason why you don't realize who he is because he played on the Nordiques, a team that was good in the 80s, tipped off in the 90s, got better, and then went to Colorado.
Mhm.
So that's what happened. So, moving on. Andre.
It's past my bedtime. I'm actually gonna go with Johnny Gaudreau.
All right. then.
I mean, everything that I was watching, looking at, he's consistently fast. He makes magical plays. He just pulls shit out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He does, man.
And he's short. One of the shortest NHL players. I'm
Yes.
about 5'0", so I'd like to think he's my hero.
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, Johnny Hockey leading the way. All right. So, we got our number 2s in.
Number 3's in, but now number 2, the lock. You guys gonna make fun of me for this?
Yep.
Okay, you are.
Are you pulling a homer?
No, there's no left wingers. There's no left
I
wingers
know,
on the
I'm just
Penguins
fucking playing around.
that
Go
are top
ahead.
10 worthy. Alex Ovechkin, number 2.
Wow. All right. That's an interesting place to put him.
Yeah, we talked enough about him, but stats from last season, 49 goals, 38 assists. He actually finished in second place behind Taylor Hall. But there's one more guy ahead of him, and we'll get to him real soon. I hate the fucking guy. He's a scumbag, but
You got a lot of love for him.
no. I'm not talking about Ovechkin. I'm
The
talking
next
about the guy above him.
Yeah.
So,
All right. So, my number 2 for all times in the left wing position is Lucky Luke Robitaille, who basically is the epitome of the Los Angeles Kings. And on top of that, too, he also wound up becoming 6 consecutive All-Star Game nominations. He also opened up his career with 8 straight 40-goal seasons. And on top of that, too,
That's crazy.
only Mike Bossy and Wayne Gretzky have more years in a row with 40-plus goals. And he also won a Stanley Cup with the Detroit Red Wings in 2001 and 2002. And that was the year before he retired. So it was their Ray Bork moment, if you would. All right, Mr. Vespi.
Number 2, terrible Ted Lindsay.
Ted Lindsay.
What a
Who's
guy.
naming these people? Come on.
Their parents.
Oh,
Yeah.
they are awful people.
Oh, come on. Ted Lindsay's a very, very simple name.
I'm not saying simple. I'm just saying. Come on.
Well, they didn't name him Terrible. That was a nickname. he
No,
got
I think
later
that
on.
was his name.
Well,
Terrible testicle.
Terrible testicle.
I don't know. I don't get out much.
Okay, Andre, who's your number 2?
I'm gonna go with Ovechkin.
Damn. See, at least I'm not the only one that thinks that way.
That's because you said it was number 2.
No, I just see that there's a guy that's better that I hate more and more efficient towards their team.
Oh, so that's how you're judging it, by who you hate.
No,
I hope we don't agree because you know what, Pittsburgh.
You
That's
can't
okay.
live with that.
I'm gonna die inside.
that's fine.
Oh, that's funny.
At least it's not me dying inside.
I think he can live with that.
I am dead inside.
I'm used to the hate. But
If you haven't gotten used to it now, I don't
Yeah.
know how.
to round it off, though, my number 1 going into this season, I hate to fucking say it, Brad Marchand.
There's a piece of shit.
Yes,
I'm dead
absolutely. Here's why I say this. All right, he ranked 3rd last year in points. He had for left wingers, he had 34 goals, 51 assists, and that was all in 68 games played. So I mean, he was right up there with Ovechkin and Hall, minus 14 games. So I mean, he's absolutely lights out. I hate saying it. It's the other guy in black and gold, but you know, he's my number 1 this year. I think he's going to finish on top for left wingers. So we'll see what happens. And he's going to have to. He's going to have to take over for them. So I mean, there's still Bergeron, there's still Krejci, you know, but he's their main guy there, I believe.
Brad Marchand is, and he is a piece of shit.
Absolutely.
I think we can all safely say he is.
absolutely.
All right, so my number 1, and I don't think this is a big surprise to anyone, is none other than Bobby Hull of the Chicago Blackhawks.
Bobby Hill.
And eventually, actually, a former Winnipeg Jet, because he went to the WHA. He also wound up making history because he was the first ever hockey player to ever be paid $1 million. His contract was 10 years, $2.75 million deal, which was $1 million of it was paid up front.
And how long ago was that?
This was back in the 70s.
Oh, wow.
When that contract happened. So that was huge back then. Imagine, because think about that. That was before inflation. So $1 million could buy you like 20 mansions back then. Like, seriously. That's how much money this guy was getting paid to play in a rival league to the NHL.
Why not? I'd do it too if the NHL was gonna pay me that.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, I hear exactly
They still
what
don't
you're-
pay people like that.
Yeah.
I mean, these lower entry contracts are $650,000.
Well, here's the weird part, though. In his professional hockey goals, he ranks 3rd, next only to Wayne Gretzky and Gordie Howe. So think about that. Imagine if he stayed in the NHL.
Oh yeah. How many goals does he have now? Or now, but in his career?
He had 913.
Damn.
That's
Wayne Gretzky had 940.
Oh, he would have been number 1.
Yeah, and Gordie had 975.
Yeah.
I can't even skate that good. You're laughing. I'm serious.
No, I know. I can't skate backwards, but I still played hockey.
All right, Mr. Vespi, you're number 1. I'm going to assume that this is no surprise either.
No surprise either.
All right.
It's me,
Oh.
the Golden Jet, Bobby Hull.
All right, then. So the Golden Jet himself, Mr. Bobby Hull. Andre,
I don't wanna
finishing this
say
one
it.
off. Oh, come on.
I have to agree with him.
So the piece of shit himself, Brad Marchand.
God damn it.
He's a piece of shit. It transcends everything.
It's not that. It's I gotta agree with
A Penguins fan.
That's fine.
Steelers, Penguins.
Pittsburgh.
You're
fan.
right. I hate to
Pirates.
say it, you're right. Pirates. Are
don't-
you a Pirates fan?
Yes.
You are fucking up in life.
I know. I know, because I've only seen them win one playoff game in my whole life. So,
It is true.
but that's okay. I did get to see, in my lifetime,
Don't.
3 Stanley Cups,
Ah.
2 Super Bowl victories.
And multiple court
So-
appearances.
Yes. Exactly.
And a threatened relocation to Kansas City.
Yes.
Ooh.
I thought it was Oklahoma.
I thought it was
Neither
Vegas.
Was this
good.
Kansas City? I thought it was
It
Oklahoma City.
I heard Kansas City. I heard Las Vegas. I heard Saskatoon at one point.
Why are you wearing
Saskatoon.
sunglasses in here?
It's
I
what
wear
Yeah.
my sunglasses at night.
It's
That's
a little
why.
bright. It's a little bright in here. A little too bright in here. So I might as well throw 'em on.
He just wants to be on vacation like Brodo is right now.
That's
I know.
what it is.
I know.
Yeah.
Brodo, Chrome, half
Yeah.
the station. No.
on vacation.
I'm the sorry replacement. Sorry.
Listen, we love having you, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're lying to me. I like it. Keep
I
going.
like. I have to be nice somehow.
Thank
No.
All right, then. So that is our top 10 left wingers of all time. All our top 10 lists are unworthy and can suck my dick. And
Okay.
with that being said,
So what's happening for next week's Hockey Happy Hour?
that
Well,
would be
we will go to the other side of the wing and go to the right winger.
Ooh,
to,
that'll
the
be fun.
right wingers, yes.
Won't that be fun?
Because they know what you know what they say. You always need a good wingman.
Mm-hmm.
When you struck out, you go to the
Really do.
right.
Yep.
This is true.
And then if you struck out on the right side, then, well, give up.
Nah, then you go to the middle.
But then if that doesn't work,
It's called a kickstand.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's usually the best one. Usually the best
Usually.
one.
Why am I on this? This is going bad.
Why weren't you on this before? That's what you should be saying.
I think it was I was kept like away from the real world.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not very good in public if you haven't noticed. When I just tell people wonderful things about themselves. You know, like I want to fly to wherever asshole's from and handle that issue. You know, with
Oh,
a nice hug and
God.
handshake.
Come on, with a hug and handshake. All right, we'll go with that one.
I won't threaten them anymore. You'll die alone. Oh, God.
Come on.
Okay.
Come on, relax.
I can't.
Relax. Don't need to be that way.
Okay, I'll try to be nice.
Try is the key word.
With
But
such
Try.
nice people here.
If I see effort, then I will give you an A.
Don't you lie
Yes.
to me.
If I see effort, I never
you will
said.
see none.
Then you won't get a fucking
ready.
A. All right.
Good.
Then you won't get a fucking A.
Good.
All right.
It's high school all over again.
Good. All right. So F's all around. All right. So with that being said, that will do it for this edition of the Hockey Happy Hour. We thank you all for joining us.
As always.
Yes, as always, it is time for last call. I am Matt Tsutsudi. That is the Penguin lover right there,
Boo.
Michael Klankoff.
Thank you. I love the booze.
Mm-hmm.
We should be playing Miley Cyrus on this. Party in the USA. Come
This is
on.
one of my favorite songs, by the way.
I
We'll,
love that
we'll be
song.
busted with a
Wait a
copyright.
minute, you said
That
that.
and
with-
Call
No,
Me
but let's
Maybe.
get this damn thing over with.
Okay, I was
Let's go.
gonna
My bad,
say,
my
holy
bad.
shit. Anyway, all right.
Talk about it after.
Frank Vespi, behind the board, doing what he does.
Yep.
And our special guest, Andre Peruso, in the
Thank you for
studio
having
with
me,
us.
guys.
As always,
always,
always
yes.
welcome back anytime.
Yeah, you say that.
Well, hold on. We got to get back here when Daly's here so that way you can torture him.
Ugh.
So, because that's always fun, torture him. So, with that being said, we thank you all for joining us. Hockey Hour is brought to you by, as always, Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. This has been the Hockey Happy Hour, and we will see you all next Thursday at our regular start time at 10. And we will see you next week right here on a2dradio.com.
Doses.